And Moncton High Sports is back. We're done with the Carl Board Invitational. That was 5 games in 4 days. Make it 6 games in 5. It's Monday night hockey here at the Byron Dobson Arena between the Moncton High Purple Knights and the Riverview High Royals. After some of Canada, we'll be back for puck drop next on Moncton High Sports between the MHS Knights and the RHS Royals. And here we go. We are all set to go. Warm-ups done. Flood done. Oh, Canada done. Only thing next is puck drop in net for both teams. Starting in the blue paint for the Riverview High Royals is number 1, Kogan Murray. And on the opposite side of the ice is number 29, Rylan Abair. In to take the draw, Purple Knights starting their third line of Beal, Daigle, and Gillis. And on for the Royals, Atkinson, Martin, and another winger. After a bit of delay, Beal against Martin in the face-off dot. Taken cleanly by Martin. Bell sent along the boards, out of the reach of his player. Daigle, he's crunched along the boards. Sent back for Woods. Woods gathers, regroups, tries to see Daigle, then his pass is picked off by McWilliams. That pass is sent out for Kavanaugh. Luke Kavanaugh. Shooting it by Warner. Abair stops behind the net. Walking in is Atkinson. He's hit against the boards. Warner going to try to chip it by Bedford. Back behind the net. That hit the post. Kavanaugh. Keep it at the blue line. Going around the net. Brandon Warner, who was hurt in yesterday's game, the finals versus St. Malachi's, with a head injury. Back today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh. Into the zone, stopped by Abair, being pressured by Trenham out in front. Shot saved and sent away. Close chance. All ready for the Royals, less than a minute in. Tracy with a saucer pass, tried to go to Cole. Kavanaugh, that pass over for Trenham. By any pass intended for Tracy, that was picked off by Bornett. Walking in, Mason shooting, saved by Abair. So already a couple shots on net for the Royals. They're getting the first big chance is Jack Nason stepping in and firing That's saved by Hebert. Going back the other way is Moncton High. Music playing during the play. Cole with a sharp angle shot hits the boards. They're still grooving to some tunes. Then Ham will miss his pass. That'll go all the way down the ice. Icing coming up against Riverview. Scoreboard undergoing some issues. It's 18-21 here in the first period. Score tied 0-0. Ham tries to clang it off the boards. Intercepted by Vale. Steves on his tape, pushes it out, hits off Vale, goes back into the zone, taken up by Walsh. Turned over to the Purple Knights defense, flipped high up on just in the top of the boards is Obey. Royals going to clear back out of the zone. Goulet, it's center ice, cleared in off of Ham, will go on net to Murray. He will second guess and cover it. Face off to the right of Murray. Won by the Purple Knights. Goulet trying to put it to the net, puts it over to Curvin. His shot didn't get on net. Arsenault, leader on the boards. Atkinson passed in the middle, intended over for Bedford. Clearing it back in is Gaudette. Gillis battling with Atkinson. Atkinson clearing it down to the zone. Goulet fending off Atkinson. Trying to shove it against the boards. There was Bayani. Was Curvin rather. Arsenault in his own zone, back skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obey. Atkinson in with a nice move, passed by Annie. Then he's hit big in open ice. Actually showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save, Hebert. Attempted clear out, kept in by the Royals. Atkinson put to the blue line, back in by Arsenault. To be cleared up by Tracy. He comes in with speed and passes over to Bayani, that was, who mishandled the puck. Atkinson out to the blue line, Harris. Cross ice, Tracy waits, goes back to Harris. Clearing attempt, glove down by Cole, passing across ice, way out of the reach of Bayani. Bayani trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Misses his stick. Harris one behind the net. Arsenault gonna be met with Bayani. Flips it up along the board. Weir puts it out into center ice. Tracy clears it back into the zone. Probably it's delayed offside. Murray going to stop it behind the net. Coming behind and picking up with speed is Kavanaugh. Cross ice pass. Tried to hit the tape of Weir. That ends up behind the net with Woods. Daigle. Little flip against the boards. Warner going to clam it against the board. It's still with it. Flips it out. Weir going for a change. Could have had a chance at the puck. Kavanaugh. Pass over to Bornett. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. What looked like the knob of Hebert. It's cleared out of play. And we're back to an unusual 20-minute periods. Last couple games of the tournament, it's been 15 minutes. This game going to feel way longer than usual. Cleared behind the net by the Royals. Obey trying to poke it and clearing out. Nason chucks it back behind his net. Kavanaugh finds it on his forehand. Trying to move to the blue line. Kavanaugh, back to Kavanaugh. Being cleared and taken out by Vale. Vale trying to make a move, lose the puck. Gillis in to try and pressure Murray, pinching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin, going to shoot, saved by Murray. A risky play from Brennan Murray of the Purple Knights to come down and pinch ends up paying off. We finally now have a scoreboard. Just over 15 minutes still. Flipped down and cleared into the zone. Welsh leaving it off. Murray can't quite hold the line. Could be an on-man rush. Murray trying to hustle back. It's out of the reach of Walsh. Obey cleared on the boards. Curvin deflected it right into the middle. That's taken by the Royals. Ham steps in, shoots. That one misses wide of the net. Curvin trying to poke it out of the zone. McCready cleared back in. Murray. Obey steps around his net whilst being pressured by Walsh. That pass up deflected high and by Curvin. And in danger of air striking the timekeeper's booth. That's a whistle at just over 14 and a half left to go. Face off, clear around, out of the reach of Harris. That one's always kept in by Atkinson. Pass out, trying to go to Bayani, goes into the skates of Arsenault. Bayani batting with Godet, and he's offside. So it could have been a chance for the Purple Knights. Is stopped by an offside call. Face-off goes towards the bench of the Royals. Going to be taken out by Riverview High, but finding it right in the face in the big circle is Cole. This pass off the skates of Bayani. Godet shooting it in. Bear going to stop it behind his net. Harris had to stick lift Atkinson. Behind the net with it, trying to pass it over. There's a shot that's over the net from Reed Atkinson. Arsenault keeping it in the zone. Atkinson clearing it around the boards. Martin finds it in the corner. He's not going to get past defenseman Goulet. Martin still with it. Being pressured by Goulet. Goulet almost going to throw it out. Godet from the blue line. Shot blocked by Harris. That looked like it stung him in the crotch area. Atkinson put down behind the net. Tracy to Harris. Pass out. That one's going to be blocked by Arsenault. Almost a breakaway from Cole. We've seen these Purple Knights in these last couple of games in the tournament. They've been trying these stretch pass, and it's worked the majority of the time, either resulting in a goal or a high percentage chance. Battling against the Purple Knights bench. Warner puts it back for Obey. Obey trying to get it back up for Warner. Puck's taken up along the boards. Beal tried to get around Langy. Bournet around the net. Obey kept back in at the blue line by Langy. Woods rims it back around the boards. Langy back around the boards, returning to sender. A collision along the boards. Warner going to chase up against Atkinson. Keeping it in the zone is Bell. Around the net, Obey. He's going to lay a hit up against the boards. Woods. That pass was intended for Beal. Kept in Kavanaugh with a shot. That one's wide of the net. Obey had to dodge it as to not deflect it on net. Dago will not clear out of the zone, although it looked like it did. Warner finishes the job, however. Kavanaugh skating in the zone. Luke Kavanaugh poked off his stick by Beal. Will be shot all the way down the ice. The Moncton High, who needs some much needed changes, will not be able to get them. Face-off taken by Riverview High. McCready pokes it into the neutral zone on accident, almost with control of it. Ham cleared in the zone. Harris tried to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! At 12:04, a costly turnover for Moncton High will result in Nathan Kavanaugh getting the puck and keeping it in the blue line, taking a shot above the ringette line, making it past a Bear. It's going to make it 1-0 Royals. Face-off taken by Moncton High. Vale into the zone, poked off. Gillis with another try, trying to get a shot on net. He's also poked off. Flipped up high against the boards. Curvin over for Murray. Murray whiffs on his pass and pressure against Kavanaugh. Gillis can like control of it. Trenum trying to poke it in the zone. Harris over to Gillis. Gillis trying to find it in his feet. Flipped back out. Murray, he's trying to find it in his feet. Gillis receives the pass. Steps in, tries to make a move, and is poked away by Ham. Ham flips it in the zone. Murray hit by Trenum. Kervin trying to find it in his feet, battling with Tyson Trenum. Trenum being bullied by a couple Purple Knights. Behind the net, Harris. Pass in the middle. Hit by Trenum afterwards. Vale tried to put it to Kervin, who was making a change. Obey. Waits. Saucer pass right to Cole. Cole tries to accelerate in the zone with speed. Saucer pass in the middle. Tracy going to find it in the corner. Shot saved. Rebound sent it in the corner. Cole's going to hit up against the boards. Clear back up. Ove clearing it back in. Cleared in the neutral zone. Goulet. With time and space, he's going to skate up himself. Goulet here, used to being a forward, was changed just back to defense this year. Godet trying to clear it out of the zone. Retreat by Goulet. This pass was intended for Bayanians with Brayton Arsenault. Tracy to Goulet. Goulet sent off the boards. Cole trying to poke it by Godet. Goulet finds it, puts it in the middle for Tracy. Tracy trying to dangle, make some shifty maneuvers to the middle, poked off by Arsenault. Tracy to the middle. Cole can't quite control the puck. Cole battling with Godet, getting his heads a bit up high on Steve's. Then going all the way back down to the Purple Knights zone to retrieve the puck is Braden Daigle. His pass was intended for Murray. It's flipped up. Warner will flip it all the way down the zone. No icing, says the linesman. Luke Kavanaugh being pressured by Beal. Pass it out of the zone. And some good tic-tac-toe passing to get it out of the zone for the Royals. Daigle pressuring Byrne. He turns over the puck. Beal finds him behind the net. Chops at it, giving him more momentum to go around. Warner trying to stop it. Flipping it out, caught by Harris in the neutral zone. That was Bedford flipping it high in the air. Skating back is Goulet. Throws it in the middle. Walsh bringing it on his own account. Harris thrown in the middle. It's off the boots of Warner and cleared all the way down in the zone. Kavanaugh behind his net. Stops. Pass to Atkinson. Atkinson cross-ice pass. Kervin trying to apply some pressure. Walsh trying to put over in the middle for Bedford. Atkinson, puck rolled to right off his stick. Almost a high scoring chance for the Royals. Goulet behind his own net. Up for Gillis, who tried to put it in the middle, blocked by Weir. Goulet, pass to Kervin, quickly poked by the pinching Kavanaugh. Goulet does some bit of crossovers, then passes it over to Ham. Ham clears it all the way back, will not go for ice against Riverview High. Goulet against the boards. Kervin, loose puck. Vale gonna find it whilst being hit up in the bench by Longy. Gillis gonna find it in open ice. Pass to Goulet, banking off the boards, trying the same move, but the fifth time, still not working for Moncton High. Kervin, one-touch pass, trying to get that to Cole. Oh, it'll find him to clear it into the corner. Obey behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Bayani. Bayani in alone, trying to shoot, saved, and rebound cleared out by Riverview High. First opportunity, big scoring chance for Moncton High. Kavanaugh walking in with a shot. Fanned on it, so it'll go into the corner. Harris stepping out of the zone. And he cleared back in by Bedford, right to the tape of Murray. Brendan Murray to Tracy. Tracy skates around Nason. Pass up for Cole. Cole, the only Purple Knight across the red line. Moving in quickly was Tracy shooting. Fanning on the shot was Bayani. Another great chance for Moncton High, gone to waste. Clearing out of zones the Royals. Harris leaves it back off for Tracy. Tracy cuts back at the blue line, breaks the ankles of a Royal. Harris finding it in the corner. Being pressured by Atkinson. Bayani gonna try to steal the puck. That's a pass up that was intended over for Trenum. Murray regroups in his own zone. Cross-ice pass for Woods. Back for Murray. Murray throwing up against the boards. This will not hit the netting. Steves backhanded it back out for Walsh. Walsh is quickly poke checked by Beal. Recovered by defenseman Gaudette. Cross-ice pass. That pass in the neutral zone to clear was intended for McWilliams. From that's way offside. So we have a 1-0 game in favor of the Riverview Royals. We got 6:27 left to go in the period. And it's a 1-0 game in favor of the home team, Riverview High. Woods trying to clear down in the zone. Taken by Bell. Good back by the Knights. Bell over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh firing into the boots of Woods. Bringing it in. Luke Kavanaugh firing. Blocked. Sent over into the corner. Bell. He's going to put one on net, but miss. Kavanaugh sending it down along the boards. Martin pressuring it. Sent around by Woods. Bell going to keep it back in. Going to go in a familiar spot. It's right back where it came from. Skating out with speed is Gillis. Trying to get by Luke Kavanaugh. He does. Trying to dangle by Bell. Stops. Waits for teammates. Having his stick lifted, goes behind the net. Curvin trying to throw that in front. Poked away by Kogan Murray. Royals bringing it out of the zone. Backhanded in by Steve to go for a change. Jabert leaving it for Harris. Harris coasts around the net. Pass under the stick of Gillis. Ham trying to shoot it back in. Off the shin pads of Bedford. That shot takes a weird bounce off the stanchion. Vale poking in the middle of the ice. Puck static. It's taken by Vale. Left off for Curvin. Curvin trying to make a couple moves. Cole finding it in the corner. Harris trying to fire it on net. Blocked by a stick. Curvin, no look between the legs pass. And that one's intercepted by Langy. Harris shooting again. But the same result ends up in the exact same spot. Bedford skating out of his own zone. And center ice falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. Blue line. Puck's taken by nobody at the ringette line. Purple Knights eventually clear the zone. Kavanaugh shoots it back in the zone of the Purple Knights. Goulet has to pass quickly. It's off the skate of a Royal, and luckily right back to his tape. Clears it all the way down. Ham. Gaudette. Over for Atkinson. His pass through the middle of the ice will go for an icing. And we've got 4:17 left on the clock. Going to take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down in the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor by any shot, saved by Murray. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Ibert. But let's try to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, pokes it by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot, save again by Ibert. Trenum in the corner. There's Tracy coming in for a late hit, not gonna get called for it. Obey going around the net to evade Tyson Trenum. That pass up for Cole, trying to get past Gaudette. Gonna be taken down. Gaudette now emerging out of his zone after making a good defensive play to strip Cole of the puck and not take a penalty in the process. Gaudette has now gone coast to coast, but then gets hit by Vale. There's a shot, side of the net. Langy, the blue line, Gaudette winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! It was a sharp angle shot. It looked like it had gone behind the net. But sneaking it past the pad of Rylan Hebert to take a 2-0 lead is Tyson Trenum. Make it 2-0 Royals. 3:07 on the clock. Kavanaugh Flipped into the zone. Goulet finding the puck from Luke Kavanaugh. It'll be clear to the Royals blue line. Past Bell. Bell tries to work his way back in the zone. Goulet, D to D for Harris. Harris, that pass up. Threads the needle to Curvin. But he miscontrolled the puck. Kavanaugh. Cross ice for Bell. Trying to put that off for Walsh. Vale intercepts the pass. Flips it back into the zone. Murray. Leaves it off. Skating out of the zone, Walsh. Through the skates of Tracy. His pass was intended for McWilliams. Najee trying to get a pass. Luke Kavanaugh shot like it was behind the net. Byney and McWilliams. They meet along the boards. Tracy finding the loose puck behind the net. Makes way past Royal. Stretch pass blocked by Cole. Royals defense seemed to be getting a hang on the Purple Knights stretch pass strategy. Cole sent along the boards. Harris lifts it for Cole. Cole stops. Clears it along the boards. Byanni gonna converge with Bell. Bell wins the battle. Tracy goes for a knee-on-knee. And we're gonna have the game's first penalty of the game. Max Tracy going for a dangerous looking hit. And Royals heading to the power play. Well, at 1:38. Tracy's actually going to get 4 minutes for it. Kavanaugh. He'll receive the pass back. Faked one-timer. That shot is just over the net. Nathan Kavanaugh. Behind the net, Atkinson. Being pressured by Murray. Sent out in front. There's a sharp angle shot that's sent just over the net. That was Nason attempting to shoot it. Kavanaugh. Nason, one-timer. Save. Rebound. Score! And the Royals capitalize on the power play, finding the rebound in front. I believe that's Jack Nason. And there's 2 minutes on the Riverview High power play. Murray leaving that off for Godet. Approaching the last minute of play here in the first period. Godet. Outlet pass goes right back to Godet. Godet finds Atkinson. Atkinson steps in along the right side. Goes back to Bell. Bell. Godet. Working his way past Vale. He'll shoot. Rebound's cleared out by Moncton High. Godet waiting. About 3 Royals skate by him. Then he'll send it off to the left for Bell. Bell in past Curvin. Bell shooting from a sharp angle, and it's cleared away by Moncton High. Murray stops and leaves it off. Over for Godet. Less than 15 seconds. Atkinson pass through the legs of Byanni. Bell steps in, told to shoot. Curls around past Woods. Bell shooting, saved. Rebound, they score! With just 2 seconds left on the clock. It looks like it's Thomas Bell that finds the rebound out in front and slides it past a Bear. It's 2 seconds left in the first period. It's going to be 4-0 Royals. And the Pearl Knights will have to come back better and stronger in the second period. So it's 4-0 Royals after the first period. We'll be back in 10 minutes after the flood. We'll be seeing some first period highlights And do not miss the second period action. Knights, Royals on the Moncton Sports YouTube channel. Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh in the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. I was picked off by Bornet. Walking in, Mason shooting, save, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obey. Atkinson in with a nice move. Pass by Annie, then he's hit big. Actually showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save at Harris. Clearing attempt, left down by Cole. Passing across ice, way out of the reach of Annie. Trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. The puck, Gillis in to try and pressure Murray, pitching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin, gonna shoot, saved by Murray. Then almost in control of it. Ham good in the zone. Harris had to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! Cole tries to accelerate in his own speed. It's also passed in the middle. Tracy gonna find him in the corner. Shot, saved, rebound. Obey behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Bayani. Bayani in alone, trying to shoot, save. Cole, the only purple knight across the red line. Moving quickly was Tracy shooting. And center ice, falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. Take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor Bayani shot, saved. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Iber. The one shot to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, posted by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot. Shot, side of the net. Najee, the blue line, good at winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! There's along the boards by Annie. Gonna converge with Bell. Bell wins the battle. Tracy goes for a knee on Mason. Attempting to shoot it. Kavanaugh. Mason, one-timer, save, rebound, score! Free Royal skate by him, and he'll send it off to the left for Bell. Bell in past Curvin. Bell shooting from a sharp angle, and it's cleared away by Moncton. Curls around past Woods. Bell shooting, save, rebound, they score! Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh in the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. I was picked off by Bornet. Walking in, Mason shooting, save, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obey. Atkinson in with a nice move. Pass by Annie, then he's hit big. Actually showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save at Harris. Clearing attempt, love down by Cole. Passing across ice, way out of the reach of Bayani. Trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. The puck, Gillis In to try and pressure Murray, pinching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin's gonna shoot, saved by Murray. Then almost with control of it. Ham, good in the zone. Harris tried to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! Cole tries to accelerate in the zone with speed. It's also passed in the middle. Tracy gonna find it in the corner. Shot, save, rebound. Obey behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Bayani. Bayani in alone, trying to shoot, save. Cole, the only purple knight across the red line. Moving in quickly was Tracy, shooting. And center ice, falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. Take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor Bayani shot, save. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Iber. Pressure to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, pokes it by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot. Shot, side of the net. Najee, the blue line, good at, winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! There's it along the boards by Annie. Gonna converge with Bell. Bell wins the battle. Tracy goes for a knee on Mason. Attempting to shoot it. Kavanaugh. Mason, one-timer, save, rebound, score! Free Royal skate by him, then he'll send it off to the left for Bell. Bell in past Curvin. Bell shooting from a sharp angle, and it's cleared away by Moncton. Curls around past Woods. Bell shooting, save, rebound, they score! Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh in the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. That was picked off by Bornet. Walking in, Mason shooting, save, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obe. Atkinson in with a nice move, passed by Annie, then he's hit big. Actually showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save, Harris. Clearing attempt, glove down by Cole. Passing across ice, way out of the reach of Bayani. Money trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Harris trying to scoop. we go. We're ready. Period 2. Moncton High will need to turn the tide. They're currently down 4-0 to start the second. Here we go. Puck's dropped. One by Moncton High. Bayani tries to play that over to Cole. Cole shooting. Gonna be blocked. Gets it back. Sent down around the boards. Bell. Shoot it past Bayani, not past Tracy. Tracy putting it behind the net. Kavanaugh going up against Bayani. Bayani lifts his stick. Kavanaugh will get it out of the zone though. Now walking back up. Bedford stops and gets pinned up in the corner. Out in front, Martin trying to shoot. He's stick lifted by Bayani. Puck flipped out of the zone. Cleared back in, gonna hit the stanchion. Cleared out, Tracy. Gloved by Bell. He'll keep it in, but not by much. Put to the middle. Bedford on his forehand. That shot's blocked by Woods. There's a turnaround shot from Bell that's wide of the net. Bedford not going to keep it on the zone off his backhand. Bell finding the end of his skates. Cleared around the boards. Harris cleared up along the boards, out of the reach of Cole. This will not go for icing. Bell in his own zone. Almost poke checked by Cole. Cole still with it after it's tipped from Curvin. Cole moving by Shrennan. There's a shot glove save by Murray. Face off going to be taken by the Royals. Clear all the way down and might have another one quickly. $18.5 left in period 2. Taking the draw is Vale. He's going to lose it to Kavanaugh. Ham cleared along the boards, getting pinned up against the Purple Lights benches. Atkinson. Puck's going to squirt out into the neutral zone. Goulet throws into the opposite corner through the legs of the ref. Gillis trying to whack at a stick with it with Ham. Gillis in the corner, back into the middle. Only player there is Kavanaugh of the Royals. Mason flipped above Goulet. Finding in the corner, Kavanaugh up to the blue line. Cross ice McCready shooting, deflected wide by Trenum. Cole, saucer pass, that'll end up with McGreedy. They're down behind the net. Goulet trying to flip it out. There's a shot from Nason. Say the rebound's loose, but cleared away by the Purple Knights. Going back behind the net. Nason going up against Obey. Obey hits him up against the boards. McCready can't club it down. Ham against Cole. Cleared by Ham. Counting on the zone with Nason. Nason trying to make a move. Poke checked off by Goulet. Goulet trying to find Bayani through a crowd. Tracy gonna block a flip pass, go to the zone. He's offside though. Mason with the puck on the opposite side. Backhanded high in the air, picked up by Cole. Tried to pass that to Tracy, went through a couple legs. Walking it with it is Harris. Soupy Harris shot, saved. Backhanded out by Riverview High. Murray in his own zone. Forechecking is Nason. Murray passes it against the boards, out of the reach of everyone. This will not go for icing. First one out, it's Bayani being watched closer by Arsenault. Bayani behind the net, pucks loose behind the net. Arsenault takes it, a big hit from behind from Reed Cole. Not going to get called for charging. So Royals back to the power play. And our scoreboard back to not working. 16.5 to go. Riverview High on a 2-minute power play. Goddard behind the net. Pass that over to Bell along the boards. Let's scoot back in. Goddard taking it from Murray. Tracy causing some issues, not going to get the puck. Working back is Goddard. 3-on-2. Goddard stops, waits. They set up the power play. Goddard, blue line. Bell over to Trenum. That's Atkinson that sends that back to Goddard. Shot that misses the net. Atkinson poked by Biani. Atkinson gets the puck back. Bell, Goddard, stepping in a little bit. Back up top to Bell. Being poked, check that shot's over the net. Atkinson, the middle one-timer from Steves, that's wide in the net. Goddard, over to the middle, shot off the post. Wrap around a 10th out in front, they score. Face-off taken by the Royals. They're now up 5-0 on the Purple Knights. Puts it back in off the pad of Hebert. Woods finds it behind the net. Warner tries to put it back behind the net, taken by Weir. He's pressured by Obe. Obe successfully defends him, pokes it off. Woods on the boards. Kavanaugh trying to keep it in. Taken up by Brandon Warner. Pass to the middle. Can't be controlled by Beal. Royals bring it out into the zone. It's flipped in. A little over the stick of Woods, going behind the net. Weir blocked over the skate. Puck still loose, trying to throw it back up to the blue line is Bonnet. Woods. Pass, didn't get to Warner. It's cleared down for Obe. Obe trying to make a stretch pass. That hits Biani. Biani in, shooting, and it's deflected off a stick and way high up into the netting. Do a good defensive play to stop Biani from his wicked shot. Curvin pass to the middle. Vale can get a stick on it. There's a shot from the blue line that just misses the net. That was Harris putting it to the net. Ball flipped up behind the net. McWilliams pass to the middle. Stepping in is Walsh. Walsh hitting past Goulet. Still barely with control of the puck. Puts it behind the net, taken from Vale. Sent past McWilliams. To the middle, Vale trying to clear it out with it. Bell shoots it back into the zone. Blocked by Hebert. Harris trying to stretch pass. Intercepted by Kavanaugh, throwing it back on to Hebert. Harris, that pass trying to get to Curvid. Blocked to the blue line by Bell. It was our offside. Looks like Trenum not getting the message. We got 13:25 left in this second period. The Royals lead the Purple Knights 5-0. Harris, Goulet, up to Biani. Biani throws it back to Harris. Harris trying to get that to Goulet, blocked at center ice. Godet, back around under the reach of Hebert. Harris making a move past Trenum, trying to poke it up. Get back in. Here's Kavanaugh. Trenum. Body checked out by Harris. Tracy trying to flip that over to Biani out of his reach. Will not go for icing. Arsenault. For Trenum tries to flip that his own. Blocked in by Harris. Backhanded back for Arsenault. Get around. Godet retreats on his backhand. Pass up for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh being hit up by Cole. Just taking Nathan Kavanaugh out of his hands. Then a shot on net. It's blocked. Harris skates up a little bit, realizes he has more room. He'll skate up himself. Harris trying to make a move. Poked by Goodhead. Look back at the pass in the middle. That's Cole with the attempted shot. Murray shoveling it over to the net. Finds his way to the corner. Cole fighting with Goodhead for the puck. It's flipped out for Kavanaugh. He'll flip it in. Looking like it was going to go into the Royals bench. Murray waits behind his net. Cleared for Brandon Warner. Cleared out of his own McCready. For Murray. Murray back for Warner. We'll send it up against the boards. Daigle. Almost hit by Martin. Cleared into the zone of the Royals. Ham. It's along the boards. Tipped out of the zone by Atkinson. There was Harris passing it off the skate of a Royal. When he walks it himself, winds up a slap shot. It's wide of the net. Brandon Warner keeps it in. Daigle shoveling into the zone. McCready. Pass up. Harris almost lining up a big hit. A Royal does end up falling, however. Pass in the middle. Backhand shot attempted for Martin. Then he pulls it to his forehand. They hit Veal. Beal almost getting sandwiched. Martin. Puck stripped off him by Murray. Puck's to the side of the net. Trying to put that in front. There's multiple whacks at it. And this Bedford net is not on its bearings. So you got 10:54. Second period. Royals up by a score of 5-0. Behind that, Purple Knights with it. That pass was intended for Kervin from Obe. Kept it in the zone. There's a shot wide in the net. Bore. Hit up against the boards by Obe. Taking it out of the zone is Vale. Wheeling. Vale. Almost a accidental drop pass for Gillis. Cleared around. Weir. Going to be kept in by Obe. Weir pressuring him, however. Thrown in front. Vale with the one-timer shot. And fanned on it. Kervin. Try to put that to the net. It's blocked. Vale. He tries to put that up for Obe or Kervin. Wheeling out of his own zone is Bornat. Shot. Saved. Obe trying to clear it around the net. Put back behind the net by Bornat. Royals put up to the blue line. That shot deflected off the stick of Gillis. Puck's finding and getting it closer and closer to the Moncton High net. And Gillis tried to clear it out to put back to the blue line. Shot, stick saved by Hebert. Bell shooting, chest saved by Hebert. Oh, baby, pressured by Borden behind the net. Goulet almost taking a hit up high. Kervin takes a fall, but he'll end up passing it to Gillis. Gillis walking the zone. Try a couple of dangles before he's body checked off the puck. McWilliams, that pass is intercepted. Cole could be all alone. Backhander saved by Murray, and they'll cover it at 9:20 in the second. Woods gonna barely keep it in the zone. Tracy shooting. That one just misses the net. Cole evading Atkinson. There's a shot deflected by Tracy behind the net by Cole poking for it. Face on it, taken by the Knights. Tracy turnaround shot, glove saved by Cogan Murray. Tracy, he's gonna hit up Arsenault. Puck's flipped out of the zone. Skating after it for Riverview High's Nason. Woods beats him to it. Cleared it around the net. Harris finds it, backhands it. And it's gloved by Goodhead. Almost could have been a breakaway for Cole. Woods in his own zone. Pokes it up to the blue line. Ham. Shooting in the zone by Annie. Back to Kavanaugh. Spinorama. His attempted shot, he fanned on it. Still with it is another Spinorama. This puck goes to Harris. Sent it off the boards. Cleared back in. Tracy behind the net. Stops. Over for Woods. Easton Woods fanned on his pass. Intercepted by Kavanaugh in the middle. Shot safe. Rebound. Nason scores. Another costly turnover in the Purple Knight zone. Leads to a shot from Nathan Kavanaugh. And waiting for the rebound is Jack Nason. Snipes his second of the game. Purple Knights win the draw. Murray in his own end. Sends it around past Veal. Kept in. Ham going to try a shot. Glove saved by a Bear. Knights win the draw. Obey couldn't quite get a stick on him. McWilliams hits him against the boards. McWilliams almost being hit. There's a sharp angle shot from Steves. Blocked by a Bear. McWilliams clear around. Beal gonna try to shove it out. Backhander from Steves. It is skates of Obey. Murray shot around. Beal. Find on his backhand. Trying to evade Steves. Pass deflected by Beal to Warner. Sent off the boards. Daigle will poke it back to the Royal zone. Royals lead the zone. McWilliams pass deflected off of Steves. Goulet pass to the middle. We have 7 minutes left to go in the first period. Goulet off the boards for Gillis. McWilliams, he's going against Harris. It's cleared in. The Bears going to stop it. Goulet pressuring Atkinson. Goulet out-muscles him. Harris going to poke him behind the net for himself. Harris that pass there for Gillis. Makes him spin around, not know quite where it is. McCready stretch pass for Bedford. Potential 2-on-1. Bedford's going to miss his pass from Martin. So that'll quickly break that 2-on-1 up. Goulet trying to flip it out of the zone. Tracy finds the puck with speed. Tracy shooting. Again, it's deflected by defenseman. I believe that's Luke Kavanaugh. Blocking another Moncton High chance. We have just over 6 minutes to go. Then by the Royals, Kavanaugh trying to scoop it out. Replay just getting done here. Purple Knight still with it in the zone. Cole leaves it off for Woods. That goes out of the zone. Kavanaugh. Pass out of the reach of all Royals and going for an icing. Face-off take. Moncton High turn-on shot by in. He misses in the net. Cole and finally against the boards. Quickly being pressured by Bedford and Bell. With a shot that goes behind the net. Kavanaugh cleared around the boards. Keeping it was Atkinson before he was set by Tracy. Atkinson gets it back. Pass to Woods. Bedford trying to wheel by him. And an offside and also a penalty call coming against Moncton High. So Max Tracy going back to the box. Max Tracy, 2 minutes for hooking at 5:34. Face-off taken by Riverview High. Kavanaugh at the blue line. Looks over for Kavanaugh in the middle. Bell trying to get a shot off. Ham. Clear around for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh back for Luke Kavanaugh. Steps in, back door. Shot by Nason's just wide of the net. Backwood in front. Royal still looking for a shot. Kavanaugh. Ham. Luke Kavanaugh. They're down the ice by the Knights. Biney finding the puck short-handed, wheeling into his forehand, shooting, and a great save by Kogan Murray. Only other game in the action right now. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Royals. Pass in the middle, Trenum on his backhand. Goes into the corner. Out in front, one-time receives. Bell finds him in the corner. Looks up for Goodette at the blue line. Goodette. Kavanaugh, back up. Goodette. Bell, Kavanaugh. Intended for Atkinson, but whiffed on his pass. Will be a pass by Annie. There's a shot, save, rebound, also saved and gloved by a Bear. Only other game in action right now. The Cavaliers de Clément-Cormier. They are up 2-0 on the Harrison Trimble Trojans at the fourplex with still a lot of time to go in the third period. Bell for Goodette. Goodette moves by Vale, poke check by Harris. Goodette still with the puck. Harris applying more aggressive pressure. Atkinson out in the middle, one-timers wide of the net. Atkinson looks, fans on a shot, but looked like he faked it. Goodette, top of the blue line, cross ice for Bell. Bell, Goodette. Skates back towards the blue line. Out of the box of Tracy. Atkinson shooting, blocked by Curvid, high in the air. Taken Vale, loses it. Then it goes over to Curvid. Purple Light potential 2-on-2. Curvid and Tracy. Tracy gets handed off the puck and is quickly poked off. Vale clears it in the zone, clear all the way back out, and we have looked at an offside against Moncton High. 3:15 on the clock here in the second period. Royals up by a score of 6-0 on Moncton High. Tracy loses the draw. Harris to Bayani. Money pass in the middle for Cole. Stripped off the puck by Ham. Tracy. Back for Goulet. Goulet passed out of the reach of Cole, and an icing coming against Moncton High. We got 2:58 to go in the period. Trying to get it to the middle was Najee. Tracy working his way out of the zone past Weir. He's tripped up, and the ref second-guessed himself. Put his hand up for a split second, and put it back down. Goulet around the net. Pressured by Weir. Going down Weir. Tracy falling on top of him. Bayern tried to poke it out of the zone. Shot to the middle. Goulet. Flipped out of the zone. This may go on net. It'll just go wide of the net. Icing coming against Moncton High. Rarely do you see that Ref looked like he wanted to call a penalty and second-guessed himself. Goulet flipped around for Harris. Harris to Cole. Cole jukes out Walsh. Cole backhanded up to the blue line. Harris tried to quickly make a move. Steve's on him and watching him closely. Walking in Harris, sharp angle shot, missing the net wide left. Goulet puts it back into the zone of the Riverview High Royals. There's a stick broken on the ice. That's probably a good .350 right there. Loose puck. Beal trying to poke it to the net. Beal making his way around Godet. Throws it back up for Obe. Loses the puck. Broken stick is in the mix. But pass in the middle, McWilliams going up against Murray. McWilliams to the middle. Shot is wide of the net. Another sharp angle shot's put behind the net. Warner. Wheels up the right side. We're putting it down in the zone of the Royals. Clear on the net. Just over a minute to go here in the second period. The Purple Knights trail by a score of 6-0. And an icing. Another one coming against Moncton High. 1-1-1 left to go on the clock. And Coach Malcolm Cole with some not so kind words for the official. Martin winning the draw. Bedford pinned up against the boards by Obe. Daigle missing his hit. Martin makes his way behind the cage. Throws it back in the direction behind the cage. Abair puts it into the corner. Bedford. Atkinson shot out in front and turned away by Abair. Royal still with it out in front. Atkinson trying to turn around. Still with it. Bedford. Cleared along the boards. Just 35 seconds left to go in the period. Bedford barely going to keep it in. It's thrown back out. This will go another ice against Moncton High. They really need a change about now with 28 seconds left in the period. Nothing Royals for those just tuning in. And 28 seconds left to go in the second. Face off one by Nason. Moves around, shot out in front. Pad saved by Abair. Blue line. Ham down for Nason. Nason putting it across ice. The shot saved and the net is off. And a couple whacks given after the whistle. Main suspect is Nathan Kavanaugh. And looks like he's going to go to the box here. So Nathan Kavanaugh is going to get 2 for slashing at just 14 seconds. Something the Purple Knights needed desperately. Not only a whistle that's not an icing, they get a power play that will head into the third period if there's no goals with these last 14 seconds left. Tracy wins the draw. Kept him by the Knights. Tracy shooting, saved by Murray. It's a quick face-off draw win. It's thrown in the net by Tracy. There's just a couple seconds left. Cole trying to throw it in front. Cole has it on his backhand. 2 seconds left. Last second shot comes from Harris that misses the net. So after second period, 6-0 in favor of the Royals. Stick around for the intermission. We'll be seeing some highlights from the first 2 periods. And we'll be back in 10, third period action. Knights and Royals on the Moncton High Sports YouTube channel, brought to you by MST. Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh into the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. That was picked off by Bornak. Walking in, Mason shooting, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Ove. Atkinson in with a nice move, passed by Annie, then he's hit big. Accidentally showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save, Harris. Clearing attempt, love down by Cole, passing across ice, way out of the reach of by Annie. Money trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. The puck, Gillis in to try and pressure Murray, pinching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin, gonna shoot, saved by Murray. Then almost with control of it. Ham good in the zone. Harris tried to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! Cole tries to accelerate in the zone with speed. It's also passed in the middle. Tracy gonna find it in the corner. Shot, save, rebound. Obe behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Baini in alone, trying to shoot, save. Cole, the only purple knight across the red line. Moving in quickly was Tracy, shooting. And center ice, falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. And take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down in the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor Baini shot, save. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Iber. Let's try to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, posted by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot. Dot side of the net. Naji, the blue line, good at winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! There's one on the boards by Annie. Gonna converge with Bell. Bell wins the battle. Tracy goes for a knee on Mason. Attempting to shoot it, Kavanaugh. Mason, one-timer, save, rebound, score! Free Royal skate by him, then he'll send it off to the left for Bell. Bell in past Curvin. Bell shooting from a sharp angle, and it's cleared away by Moncton. Curls around past Woods. Bell shooting, saved, rebound, they score! Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh in the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. That was picked off by Bornak. Walking in, Mason shooting, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obe. Atkinson in with a nice move, passed by Annie, then he's hit big. Accidentally showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford, pad save, Harris. Clearing attempt, love down by Cole, passing across ice, way out of the reach of by Annie. Money trying to get that backdoor to Cole. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. The puck, Gillis in to try and pressure Murray, pinching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin, gonna shoot, saved by Murray. Then almost in control of it. Ham good in the zone. Harris had to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! Cole tries to accelerate in the zone with speed. It's also passed in the middle. Tracy gonna find it in the corner. Shot, saved, rebound. Obe behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Baini in alone, trying to shoot, save. Cole, the only purple knight across the red line. Moving in quickly was Tracy, shooting. And center ice, falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. And take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down in the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor Baini shot, save. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Iber. Let's try to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, posted by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot. Shot, side of the net. Najee, the blue line, good. It winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! There's one on the boards, Miami. Gonna converge with Bell. Bell wins the battle. Tracy goes for a knee on Mason. Attempting to shoot it, Kavanaugh. Mason, one-timer, save, rebound, score! Royal skate by him, then he'll send it off to the left for Bell. Bell, in past Curvin. Bell shooting from a sharp angle, and it's cleared away by Moncton. Shoot, curls around, past Woods. Bell shooting, saved, rebound, they score! Today, however, Captain Nathan Kavanaugh in the zone, stopped by a bear, being pressured by Trenum out in front, shot saved by any pass intended for Tracy. That was picked off by Bornet. Walking in, Mason shooting, save, skating, waiting, looking for an option. Tries to see Martin, getting by Obe. Atkinson in with a nice move. Pass by Annie. Then he's hit big. Actually showing a replay mid-play. There's a one-timer shot that was missed out in front. Shot Bedford. Pad save. Harris. Clearing attempt. Love down by Cole. Passing across ice. Way out of the reach of Annie. Miami trying to get that back door to Cole. Harris trying to scoop it back in. Kavanaugh scrambles out of his zone. There's a slap shot off the stick. The puck, Gillis in to try and pressure Murray, pinching down from the boards. Vale with Curvin, gonna shoot, saved by Murray. Then almost with control of it. Ham good in the zone. Harris tried to throw it in the middle, intercepted by Kavanaugh. Shooting, scores! Cole tries to accelerate in the zone with speed. It's also passed in the middle. Tracy gonna find it in the corner. Shot, saved. Rebound. Obe behind the net. Pass that over to Cole. Cole looking cross ice, fighting Biani. Biani in alone, trying to shoot, saved. Cole, the only purple knight across the red line. Moving in quickly was Tracy, shooting. And center ice, falling is Goulet. Here's Atkinson to the middle. Pass is deflected behind the net. Gonna take the draw is Vale. It's Tracy rather winning the draw. Cole fighting his way down in the corner past Nathan. Tracy, backdoor Biani shot, saved. Was saved and or blocked. Now Nason firing, glove saved by Iber. But let's try to bring it out of the zone. Cole loses the puck in the middle, pokes it by Trenum, goes back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gonna shoot. Shot, side of the net. Najee, the blue line, good. It winds up for a slap shot. Again, hits the side of the net. Another shot, they score! We're off third period action. Moncton High is on the power play for a minute and 40. But they're down by 6 goals. Biani Steps in, shoots. Blocked. Kept around. Bell. Tracy. Harris. Tracy. Waits. Back to Harris. Harris to Tracy. Tracy. By shooting. Blocked by the stick of Kavanaugh. And clearing it out is Bedford. And down the ice it'll go. Purple Knights with it in their own zone. Harris. Try to go across the ice. Picked off. Bell. Will clear it all the way back down in the Purple Knights zone. Harris trying to make his way past Walsh. Walsh was causing a dilemma. Harris got his stick poked out of his hands. Arsenal behind the net. Cleared around, almost 2 men against Moncton High. Obe hopping onto the ice and having some trouble staying on his feet. Biani. Curls around. Biani still with it. Makes his way past Walsh. Trying to cut to the middle. Biani shooting save by Murray. Murray now going to cover at 8:19 of the third period. 5 seconds left on the Nathan Kavanaugh slashing call. Daigle, Beal, shot back in by Goulet. Kavanaugh's now out of the box. Arsenault hitting it up against the boards. Beal applying some pressure. Goulet whacks it back into the zone, tries to shoot on net. Gauvin tried to block it. Daigle tried to put it back to his blue line. Down this it'll go. Moncton ice it themselves, so no icing. Kavanaugh fresh out of the box. Going up with Obe. Sent to the middle. Daigle. That's Goulet rather, putting it to Beal. Arsenault sent it to his D-man. Obe hits Kavanaugh. Daigle struggling to keep possession. It's cleared in by Atkinson. Banked off the boards for Beal. Beal walks in. He has 2 sticks with him. Shot out to center ice. Harris fresh off the bench. Pass. Hits off the skates of Cole. Over to Warner. Gaudette in his own zone. Run his net stops. Banks it off the boards. Pitching and putting it back into his Biani. And the puck is really poked off his tape. He goes out to center ice. Skates around for a little bit. Harris plays it off his skates to Cole. A smart play, but Cole is quickly poked off by Kavanaugh. Atkinson skating and has a bit of room. He's going to shoot, score. And when it rains, it pours. It's 7-0 in favor of the Royals. Atkinson walked in and just tried to put the puck on net. Shot it past a bear. And it's now a 7-0 game in favor of Riverview High. Good out of the zone. Bonnet tried to put it back. Harris sent into center ice. Cleared away. Woods. Finding it on his forehand. Good around. Bonnet. Stopping it. Cole. Stealing it from him. Tracy. Trying to put it to boards. He goes to Bonnet, who puts it out in front. Bonnet. Shoving Woods up high. And we're going to have a call coming against Riverview High. Their roughing call against Seamus Bonnet at 16-16. So we're going to have a power play coming up from Moncton High. Face-off taken by the Royals. It's cleared out against the boards. Biani Goes into center ice. Being watched closely by Steves. Bryony almost losing the puck on his own account. Bryony tried to put it to the middle off the skate of Tracy. Tracy quickly moving his feet. In the center ice, he's poked off by the first Royal he meets, being Nicholas Steves. Cole works around Steves. Pass McCready as well. Cole tried to shove it in on goal and blocked by Murray. Cole found a pass in the middle of the ice that had been quickly cleared by the Royals. Harris, pass tipped by Walsh over to Martin. Martin with time, going to play it off for his defense. That pass is over for McWilliams. Harris regathers in his own zone. Over for Bryony. Bryony shoved off by Martin. Harris making his way past McWilliams. Harris in with it through the legs of Kavanaugh. Taken by Bell. Bell's not going to clear it out of the zone. It's taken by McWilliams to put out for Tracy. Tracy cleared off the boards. Cole. Cole makes his way past Kavanaugh. Bell finds him behind that backhander above onto the glass, and he cleared out by Thomas Bell. Kavanaugh not going to flip it out of the zone. Less than 10 seconds to go in the power play. Harris shoots. Deflected and hits the ceiling. Just a couple seconds left on the power play. Just over 14 minutes left in the game. Face-off taken by Moncton High. Put to the blue line. There's a shot. It'll be put to the middle by Daigle. Get all the way down in the zone. This will be an icing quickly against the Royals. And now, between the pipes for Moncton High is number 1, Elias Sock. They've made a goaltending change. Pass in the middle. Atkinson being shoved by Obey. Obey again trying to go for a hit. Daigle. Get around the boards. Flipped out by Woods. Warner being pinned up by Martin. Martin finding it in the corner. He's hit. There's a backhander saved by Sock and sent to the corner. Beal put to the blue line. Arsenault hit against the boards by Warner. Loose puck. Warner's being pinned up. Going down is Bedford, looking like he was almost hit by his own teammate. Beal finds a loose puck and a big hit at center ice on Daigle. Royals come back the other way. Warner giving a big slash on Kavanaugh and a shove to Arsenault. Moncton High clearly letting out some frustration. Brandon Warner takes a slashing call that really could have been avoided on Kavanaugh. And Royals to the power play here at 13:24 to be quickly cleared up by Moncton High. Murray finds him behind the net. Backhands it over for Luke Kavanaugh. Meets Reed Cole. Tracy poke checks off of Nason. Kavanaugh waits. Looks for an option. And goes over to Atkinson. Atkinson in the zone. Stops. Waits. Ham at the blue line. Slides to the middle. Pass over for Kavanaugh. Luke Kavanaugh. Ham. Puts it behind the net, out of the reach of Atkinson. Nathan Kavanaugh down in the zone. Tracy trying to flip it out, blocked by the skates of Nason. Nathan Kavanaugh to Luke Kavanaugh. Back to Nathan Kavanaugh. steps in, try to pass in the middle, deflected. Harris backhanded. Luke Kavanaugh winds up for a slap shot. It's blocked. And Ham not able to keep it in. Pro making some changes. Rushing quickly. Luke Kavanaugh cuts back. Cross ice. Ham puts it behind the net. Trenum out of his reach. Nathan Kavanaugh also there. It's cleared all the way down the ice by Obe. Ham. Pass that was intended for Kavanaugh is down the ice for a whistle at 11:52. Goulet flipped around the boards. There's a count on Gillis out in front. Curvin with a shot saved by Murray. So a shorthanded chance for Moncton High. Curvin almost getting one past Murray. Curvin this time going to win the draw. Goulet sends it past Bell. Curvin stops, evades one, evades Longy. Gets it back, outlet pass, breakout through the legs of Gillis to Weir. Shooting, saved by Sock, and the rebound going to be kept in Gaudette. Royals now not on the power play, 5-on-5. Weir, sharp angle shot, hits the side of the net, it's behind the net. To be picked up by Moncton High. We got a penalty coming up against Riverview High. 11:10 to go in the third. And we're going to have a Moncton High power play. Tracy in the draw against Walsh. She wins it. The blue line leaves that off for Biani. Walsh pressuring him. Put to the middle. Cole trying to have a shot on that. That nets off. Face off won by Moncton High. Harris by any one-timer saved by Murray. Mighty fighting in the corner. Ham fighting with Cole. Ham gonna get the best of Cole. Alex Ham with the puck skates out of his zone and is flipped off the head of Harris. Now bring it back quickly is Tracy with Cole. 2-on-2. Tracy trying to get by McCready. Biani up the ring at line. Dangles by Walsh. Up the blue line for Harris. Harris shot on net, deflected up above Murray by Cole. A good stick out in front. That cleared out of the zone. Harris sends it all the way over into the skates of Cole. Cole for Harris. Harris back up for Biani on that right side. Biani skates in. Gets around McCready to the middle. Harris cuts back, turn towards the blue line. That pass was in for Biani, taken away. There's a slash from Arsenault. Tracy finds it above the ringette line. Makes it by McWilliams, trying to pass it in front to Vale. Just 35 seconds left doing the power play. Tracy skating around, has done one full lap, leads it off Harris. Shooting, scores! And Campbell Harris gonna get Moncton High's first goal of the game and gonna make it 7-1. Campbell Harris that gets the first goal. Puts Moncton High on the board. Goulet tries to skate by Bornat. Obe finds it in his own zone. It's 7-1 here. Just over 9 minutes to go. Beal finds it at center ice. Daigle moving at center ice. Toe drags Warner. Daigle try to cross ice pass, but it's deflected out of the zone by Bornat. Goulet sends him on the boards. Cleared back in by Warner. Behind the net, Murray. Working out of the zone is Steves. Shoots it in behind that out of Sock. Barnett being pressured against the boards. Gillis cleared out of the zone over the head of Arsenault. Royals still within their own zone. Cleared in for the goal scorer, Harris. To Gillis. Throws it in the zone. Vale has Kerman in front of the net. Stops. He's poked off by Walsh. Vale, and again you get poked off. Bring it up as Arsenault. Pass in the middle. There's a shot that's above the net. Sock can't go get the rebound. It's behind the net. Stocks out of the crease. Luke Cavanaugh's going to step in for a slap shot, missing the net. Cleared out of the zone, out of the reach of Atkinson. Atkinson for Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh taken by Martin. Deflected in the zone. Harris. Backhanded out of the zone. Tracy turns around. Over from Murray. Out of the zone. Tracy into the zone. Pass in the middle. Cole, no move. Move and saved by Murray. Atkinson skating out of his own zone. Flipped. Hits the board. Sock. Played out. There's a big collision behind the net. Murray taking out Atkinson. No call with it. And offside for Moncton High by any on would have been on a breakaway over. So to recap that first goal, Moncton High's first goal, it's going to be scored by number 17, Campbell Harris. An assist is going to be given to Max Tracy. Now it's 7-1, just over 7 minutes to go in the game. Tracy around the net, leaving that off for Woods. He's poked by Trenum. Put up to the blue line for Bell. Bell cleared behind the net, other reach of Obe. Nason, gonna get shoved by Obe. Pinned up by Bayani. Taking into the zone, one-timer after the whistle by Bell. Cole coming over to have a conversation with him. Slashes the stick out of his hand in the process. Trenum going to give Cole a whack. Purple Knights not happy with a one-timer after the whistle. But Bell will head to the box. Here's the collision behind the net between Murray and another Royal. So Purple Knights power play at 6:51. Phase off, taken by Moncton High. Bayani. Tries to skate by a Royal. Bayani still with it. Cross ice pass is deflected by Steves and out to center ice. Harris backhand into the boards for Tracy. Tracy makes a move past Steves. Harris gonna chuck it back to Tracy. Tracy with a bullet pass over to Bayani. Bayani, his pass deflected by Walsh, and we'll go next to the Purple Knights bench. Tracy makes his way past Steves, trying to make his way past Walsh. Leaves that off for Bayani. Harris gonna put a shot on net. Saved. Cole going around the net. Loses the puck. Gets it back. In the corner being pressured by Ham. Cole Up to Bryony, firing, saved by Murray, and that will hit the netting. We got 5:55 on the clock. We'll take a quick another look at the play. Cole hanging around Gretzky's office before he said to Bryony, who will let a quick shot go. Purple Knights again win the draw. Harris, Tracy, shooting, glove saved by Murray. The one-timer by Annie, saved by Murray. Cleared all the way out. Just over 5.5 minutes to go. Bryony cuts back. Tracy trying to evade Bedford. And after failing to do so, Bedford gives him a shove, making Tracy go falling down. Cole skates out of his own zone. Dangles by Weir. Trying to do a windmill deke, poked off. Bryony finding it in the corner behind the net for Cole. Cole being pressured by Gaudette, put up to the blue line. Tracy. Bryony one-timer. Couldn't quite get a full shot off. Cleared all the way down the zone. Saucon on to make a quick move. Right there was Bedford. Almost stealing the puck from him. Tracy makes a nice move. Power play. Now expired for Moncton High. It's 5-on-5. Harris. Making his way past Balmet. Dagley take a slap shot. Cleared in. And then it's chopped away. A permanent goes falling. Beal tried to pass that down for Warner. Balmet almost hit by Obe. We're going to have a penalty. Coming up, Brandon Warner already heading to the box. So Brandon Warner going to get 2 minutes for interference. We'll take another look at it. Must have been behind the play. Right in front of the referee. He will spot that every day of the week. Trenum. Pass out up to the blue line. Gaudette. Pass back down. Gaudette gets it back. Over for Bell. Back up for Gaudette. Intended and poked off. Gillis applying some pressure. Hitting Gaudette up into the boards. Bell walks into the zone. Looked debatably offside. Gaudette skates around in his own zone. Gaudette passes up for Bell. Bell almost poked off by Curvin, and they kept him by Steves. Cross-ice pass and an offside coming against Riverview High. Shot attempt from the blue line. It's going to go into the corner. Cole picking up, trying to evade Bedford. Rimmed around the boards. Ham. Luke Kavanaugh. Down. There's another Kavanaugh shooting. Rebound. They score. Make it 8-1. Riverview High with 3:12 left in the period. There's a shot from Nathan Kavanaugh and a rebound, sliding it past Sock. It's going to be 8-1 Royals with just over 3 minutes to go. Face-off taken by the Knights. Murray put through the legs of a Royal. Cole poking him with his own pass. Arsenault taken by Gaudette. Gaudette evades a hit from Cole. Tries to put out his own, but it's upended by Bryony. Viney's trying to make it past Gaudette. Now trying to walk up to the blue line. Viney still with it on his backhand. He's forced out of the zone. Viney for Harris, cleared in. Gaudette, outlet pass, and he kept in by Harris. Barely. Harris for Gaudette. They cleared along the boards, blocked back by Harris again. Harris trying to pass it over to Cole. This pass was blocked by the stick of Wall, set to the middle and covered by Murray. And we are off to straight time for the remainder of these 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So a rough game for the Purple Knights after just playing in the Sackville tournament, the Carl Ward Invitational, and coming out short in the finals just yesterday, having to play. There's a shot saved by Murray. After losing 11-5 in a final, and then having to come play league games against Riverview High the next day is not what you want to see. These guys have probably been tired since Saturday and having to play multiple games since then. Goulet, pass to Daigle. He flips it past Longy. Murray. Around the boards. Beal gonna try to hold it in at the hash marks. Pressured by Ham. And they try to pin up against the boards. We've come to the last minute of play here in the game. Longy up against the boards. Past Warner. Goulet moving to the middle and then putting it back behind the net. Longy. Here on the boards. We kept in by Moncton High. That's off the skate. McCready banks for Weir. Weir to Obey, who goes out in the center ice. Obey. That pass up against the boards. Beal try to get that over to Warner, but is picked off. So it back down in the Moncton High zone. Less than 30 seconds to go. Moving out is Goulet. Goulet now in the middle with speed. Joey Goulet in around Bell, trying to shove it to the middle, and is pressured by 3 Royals in the corner. Shoving it out of the zone is Atkinson for Harris. In the last 10 minutes, last 10 seconds, the Royals not going to pressure. Harris going to leave the puck. And that's going to be the game. And your final from the Byron Dobson Arena in Riverview is an 8-1 victory for the Riverview High Royals. And the next game on our channel, be looking out for it. Sunday night, we're back home at the K. Sunday, December 8th, 8:15. Moncton High, Kidim Alcalmi at the K Arena, live on the Moncton High Sports YouTube channel.